Welcome back, Ospreys. You're watching the first Nest News of the semester, live from the Student Union. I'm your host, Kara Scarborough. Coming up on today's show, we have a first month check-in with the new UNF president, coverage of a recent panel about the red zone, some new UNF data about the biggest UNF class, and a soccer update. So stay tuned for our first episode of the semester. On August 31st, the University of North Florida hosted a panel event in the West Wing of the Student Union. A panel of 8 UNF faculty and students discussed the issue of sexual violence on campus and the red zone, which is a time of statistically heightened instances of sexual assault that happened during the first part of the fall semester across college campuses. The Red Zone panel event opened awareness about sexual assaults, trauma, consent, and other topics to raise awareness in education. Panelists discussed the many different services UNF offers to students to turn for help for dealing with sexual assaults and other instances of sexual violence, such as the Women's Center, the Counseling Center, the Student Health Center, and the Victims Advocacy Program are just a few on the list. An important part of preventing sexual violence on campus requires contribution from all members of UNF. Students involved with clubs, extracurriculars, or Greek life are all encouraged to partner with the Dean of Students or Student Advocacy to spread awareness and the conversation across all parts of the UNF campus. Taking on the role of the University of North Florida's 7th president in stride, Moaz Lamayam has checked off his first month, spending time with the Jacksonville businesses and connecting with university leaders and students. Making a range of appearances across Jacksonville, Lamayam said it was difficult to choose a single favorite moment. Lamayam says he wants to hone in on student success. What is student success? To Lamayam, it's giving the best possible experience from enrollment to graduation and beyond. He acknowledges that there are issues with the infrastructure at UNF, but foresees a university with a population of 30,000 students. Currently, UNF has a population of about 17,000. Here are a few notable quotes from Spinnaker's interview with the president.
And goal is of course, to grow strategically, to grow well, and not, again, growing, just increasing numbers for the sake of increasing numbers. It is a little bit unfortunate that several of our students couldn't find housing. This is not unique to UNF. This is a problem, national problems. Why? First of all, the rent prices of campus everywhere in the country has just skyrocketed. So a lot of students who usually will spend a year here or 2 years and go live off campus, they cannot afford that anymore. You couple that with the increase in enrollment, and we can only have a policy of first come, first serve, and the majority of the wait list actually applied the last 28 days before the class started. So they probably started a little bit late. As we speak, we are working on short-term solutions for spring, and even for this fall, we try to help our students on the waiting list as much as possible. So we had resources for them, and each one of the students on the waiting list was called and was informed of possibilities of campus. We also negotiated with the hotel a more favorable rate.
It's not your vision, it's our vision.
Absolutely.
You spent the last month, you sent an email yesterday listening and hitting the ground listening and talking
Absolutely.
to leaders. What is our vision?
That vision is to make UNF a preferred destination for students from all over the country, the state, the country, and why not the world. For students in high numbers, achievement, and diversity. Preferred destinations for employers. I want employers to come here first before they go anywhere else.
Although he's only just begun his time at the UNF, Lamayam wants his legacy to focus on the youth, when parents are having kids and imagining them eventually attending college at UNF. Why can't UNF be the best in the world, he asks. For the full YouTube interview, visit our YouTube channel. New data released by UNF shows that an estimated 3,155 new students have settled into the Osprey Nest this semester. Associate Vice President of Enrollment Services Terry Curran told Spinnaker that the university has seen about an 85% increase of out-of-state students for this year's freshman class. As a younger institution, increasing growth and overall student population has been a priority for UNF. Celebrating its 50-year anniversary, it looks like this university is doing just that, growing. But this increase in population doesn't come free of problems. Many new students face issues landing an on-campus dorm at the beginning of the semester. Kern says that UNF is working to address these concerns and look at utilizing UNF-owned land more effectively. UNF is always looking to the future for expanding more Ospreys in the years to come. Through 5 games, UNF's men's soccer team has remained winless. They've played well, but there's one culprit behind the lack of success: missed opportunities. This was the case on Tuesday when the Ospreys hosted the Georgia Southern Eagles. UNF outshot the Eagles 14-12, but the Ospreys simply couldn't convert on any of these. The match was scoreless through the vast majority of the game, but this came to an end in the 70th minute when the Eagles took a 1-0 lead. Despite a hectic last minute of play, Georgia Southern held on to win the match. While this was a frustrating result for UNF, head coach Derek Morantos isn't dwelling on the negative. Rather, he is looking forward to their next game, a duel with in-state rival Stetson on Saturday. The game takes place at UNF's Hodges Stadium at 7 p.m. With the amount of chances this team is creating in the box, the goals are sure to follow soon. It's just a matter of time. Now, let's go to the school communications for your weekly weather update.
Hey there, Ospreys. Welcome to a weather edition of Inside Super 90. I'm Grace Duravi, here to give you the top weather news and the local forecast. Starting off with today's top weather story, oil titan BP has reached a $2.75 million settlement over air pollution from its largest refinery after environmentalists complained of repeated emission violations at the Whiting facility in Indiana. Under the agreement, BP would pay $1.75 million in civil penalties to a federal fund used for clean air monitoring and enforcement. The company would also pay $1 million for projects intended to boost health and quality of life in the area. They would include a $500,000 to the nonprofit Student Conservation Association. Heading in today's weather, there is going to be a slight chance of showers between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Then there is a chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. There is a slight chance of showers between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. Then chances of showers and thunderstorms after 3 a.m. Then it'll be partly sunny today with some wind coming in from the northeast. The high from today will be around 86 degrees, while the low will be around 72 degrees. Now let's take a look at our radar. We will have some rain and storm chances today, which will likely bring in some activity. Out in the Atlantic, the Tropical Depression 7 has formed into Tropical Storm Fiona. The system is expected to move through the Leeward Islands late today. The islands are expected to see some heavy rain from the depression. This rainfall may produce some isolated flash and urban flooding, along with isolated mudslides in areas of higher terrain. Back in Jacksonville, let's take a look at our weekend outlook. Elevated storm chances increase into Saturday, with the highest chance in the northeast. Sunday may feature some scattered storms, but is not expected to last. The highs for this weekend will be in the upper 80s with the lows in the low 70s. Drier weather is on track for next week. That does it for this weather edition of Inside Super 90. Have a great day, Ospreys. I'm Grace Duravi, and I'll see you next time.
That's all we got for you today, Ospreys. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram at UNF Spinnaker and come check out our YouTube for some more content. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Kara Scarborough, and we'll see you next week on Spinnaker's Nest News.